Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. This is going to be my Gotham episode 9 video. We got to see a new comic book character, Flamingo, and we saw Missy from Doctor Who. Alfred is also turning into a bit of a Batman himself. So let's get going. Just careful for spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet, starting with top 5 WTF. Number 5, Meet the Flamingo. So this is a character that showed up in Batman issue 666, imagine that. He is a cannibal in the comics just like he was on the TV show, and like a lot of Batman's weirdest characters, he was created by Grant Morrison as part of the Circus of Strange. If you remember, like Professor Pig. They debuted for the first time when Grant Morrison started writing the Damian Wayne Batman and Robin title. If you never read that issue of Batman, or you've never read the original Batman and Robin run, just in Grant Morrison fashion, they are spectacularly horrible villains. I think the TV show just decided to pull him out of the comics just because he would push Gordon to the edge so Gordon could regret not killing him. That was a pretty fun moment, especially when Barnes told him the story about how he blew someone's head off. It just, next thing I knew, his head was blown clean off. As of the end of the episode, Flamingo's still alive, so they can still totally use him in a future episode. Like, oh man, I definitely should have blown that dude's head off. On to number 4 though, Jerome is dead but not forgotten. So at the beginning of the episode, as we learn about Theo being locked up, we also see the Joker graffiti that's just like slowly teasing the movement across the city. The Jerome Joker lit a bit of a match in the city, not expecting any Jokers to rise up for the rest of this season. They have Hugo Strange coming, so I think he's going to be one of the biggest villains of the season, in addition to the Order of Saint Dumas. But speaking of villains, on to number 3, Meet Missy, newest Batman villain. Of course the Master would be a Batman villain. If you guys don't watch Doctor Who, this is Michelle Gomez. She plays a female version of one of the most famous Doctor Who villains of all time, the Master. She's called the Mistress now. But the character she's playing on Gotham is not someone from the comic books. It's just an original creation of the show. I did like the speakeasy vibe. Tigress goes in, gives the secret password, gets into the secret bar, hires the assassins. Thematically, Gotham is a lot like New York. If you've ever been to New York, there's still a lot of speakeasy bars. I'm sure in a lot of big cities in the United States. If you've never been to any secret bars in the United States, during the Prohibition era, speakeasies rose up as secret bars where you give a password, you get into a secret room where they would serve alcohol when it was illegal to do so. Nowadays, speakeasies are just like a really fun throwback to that. Just like, oh hey, come into this secret bar. But it's not a party without entertainment, so on to my number 2 WTF moment. The Riddler helps the Penguin get his mojo back, his murder mojo. I feel like we're all in agreement that this is one of the most fun pairings on the show. It's a shame that it took him this long to get to it, but the Riddler had to come around on his arc, so now he is full-blown Riddler just without the costume. It's going to be like a symbiotic criminal relationship, whereby the Penguin is going to help organize the Riddler. Like, the Penguin has already headed his own evil organization. The Riddler hasn't done any of that yet. The Penguin is like the full-scale version of the Riddler. He's going to teach the Riddler how to build resources around himself. I'm really happy they're through this Penguin's mother arc just because everything the Riddler said was completely true. It was a huge crutch for that character. Now that she's gone, he has nothing left to lose. He can be full-blown diabolical comic book Penguin. But of course, on my number 1 WTF, the Order of Saint Dumas arrives in Gotham. Killing the guard was a little on the nose, but I did like the imagery in the background where they had the clouds covering the moon, and you have Blackgate Prison off in the distance. Bruce's scenes really didn't crack my top 5 this week, but Alfred was totally on point, and I love Catwoman's entrance at the end. Like, everybody around Bruce Wayne is out Batmaning him. And it seems like based on her demeanor, she's like completely shaken off like all that shade she got from Silver St. Cloud. My only frustration with that whole storyline is that Bruce still thinks Silver is his friend. Like, he knows that he needs to get information from her, but Alfred's like, look, you just have absolutely no idea what's going on, so I'm gonna stop you in your tracks right here. But just in terms of comic book Easter eggs, at the end there was a 313 on the docks there, like the sign. The only reference I could find to that was a Two-Face story. Two-Face is in next week's episode, so that might be a hat tip to that. But other than the Flamingo and the Order of Saint Dumas, there weren't a whole bunch of big comic book Easter eggs in this. Let me know in the comments though, what was your favorite moment from the episode? And how crazy do you think that Nathaniel Barnes is now that he told that story about blowing that prisoner's head off? When he said there is no line to Gordon, he was basically putting himself forward like Judge Dredd. He's telling Gordon that it's okay to go dark when you need to. But just to hype you guys on Hugo Strange a bit, BD Wong has been posting behind the scenes pictures of his costume transformation. They've been trying out a couple different versions of the beard. Whenever he comes on, it is going to be absolutely fantastic. If you guys didn't see him, he was on Mr. Robot this year. He's a really awesome character. He was in Jurassic World, so he's going to be awesome when he comes on Gotham. I don't know which episode exactly he's going to debut in. It might end up being the second half of the season, or it might be like the mid-season finale. Just in case you guys didn't know, Gorilla Grodd is coming back on The Flash tonight. I've already done a trailer video kind of explaining what's going on with the episode. It's kind of like a King Kong allegory. You can click here to learn all about that, and you can click here to learn all about the Captain America Civil War post-credits scene during Ant-Man. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody, let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.